Imagine a city so advanced, so powerful, that it became the envy of the ancient world. A civilization so sophisticated that its architecture, technology, and culture surpassed anything humanity had ever known. A utopia of grand temples, golden palaces, and an intricate network of canals shimmering under the sun. A city built by the gods themselves. This was Atlantis. But here's the mystery. If it was real, where did it go? How could such a magnificent empire disappear overnight, swallowed by the ocean, leaving behind nothing but whispers and legends? Could it have been a natural disaster, a divine punishment? Or is there something more, something hidden beneath the waves, waiting to be discovered? For centuries, scholars, adventurers, and conspiracy theorists have tried to unravel this enigma. Some claim it's just a myth, a story created by the ancient philosopher Plato to teach a lesson about arrogance and downfall. Others believe the evidence is out there, buried deep under the ocean floor, waiting for modern technology to uncover the truth. But what if Atlantis was more than just an advanced civilization? What if it held knowledge that was never meant to be found? The legend of Atlantis begins with Plato, the Greek philosopher who wrote about it in his dialogues. Timaeus and Critias, around 360 BCE. He described a mighty civilization that existed over 9,000 years before his time. A kingdom ruled by the descendants of the god Poseidon, divided into concentric rings of land and water, protected by an impenetrable army and a navy that dominated the seas. But despite its power and wisdom, Atlantis became corrupt, its people arrogant, its leaders hungry for conquest. The gods, angered by their greed, decided to wipe Atlantis from the face of the earth. In a single night, a cataclysmic event, earthquakes, floods, or something far worse, pulled the entire civilization into the depths of the ocean. But was Plato telling the truth? Many historians argue that Atlantis was never real, that it was just a metaphor, a cautionary tale about the dangers of hubris and excess. Yet throughout history, the idea of a lost advanced civilization has resurfaced again and again, from the myths of other ancient cultures to modern-day explorations of the ocean's depths. Could all these stories be coincidences, or is there something humanity has forgotten? One of the most compelling arguments for Atlantis being real is the number of ancient maps and records that describe lands that no longer exist. Take, for example, the famous Piri-Reis map, drawn in 1513, which shows parts of Antarctica before they were officially discovered. How did an ancient mapmaker know about land buried under ice for thousands of years? Could it be possible that he was working off knowledge passed down from an older, forgotten civilization? Then there are the strange underwater structures found around the world. Off the coast of Japan, the Yonaguni Monument, a massive stepstone formation, lies beneath the waves. Some believe it's a natural geological formation, but others argue the straight lines, terraces, and what appears to be a carved staircase suggest human construction. In the Bahamas, the Bimini Road, a series of rectangular stones forming what looks like a paved road, has long been linked to Atlantis. And what about the stories of ancient floods? Nearly every civilization has a tale of a great deluge, whether it's the biblical story of Noah's Ark, the Sumerian epic of Gilgamesh, or the Hindu tale of Manu. Could all these myths be echoes of a real, catastrophic event that wiped out a civilization? Scientists now believe that around 200 years ago, the Earth went through a period of sudden climate change, known as the Younger Dryas. Could this have caused the destruction of Atlantis? But here's where things get even stranger. Some researchers suggest Atlantis wasn't just an advanced civilization. It might have been the center of something far greater. Could Atlantis have been home to technology beyond our understanding? Some believe the Atlanteans harnessed energy in ways we still cannot comprehend. There are theories that they had access to crystal technology, capable of generating immense power. Others even speculate that Atlantis was connected to extraterrestrial knowledge, that the civilization's downfall wasn't just a natural disaster, but a war between powerful forces. One of the most controversial claims comes from the writings of Edgar Cayce, a 20th century mystic who claimed to have visions of Atlantis. He described a highly advanced society that misused its power, leading to its destruction. According to Cayce, remnants of Atlantean knowledge still exist, hidden in places like the Great Pyramid of Giza and the Hall of Records beneath the Sphinx. Could this mean Atlantis wasn't just a myth, but a forgotten chapter of human history? Even modern-day science has uncovered clues that challenge our understanding of the past. Satellite images have revealed unusual structures on the ocean floor, some resembling man-made formations. Advanced scanning technologies have detected anomalies beneath the ice of Antarctica, hinting at lost civilizations buried deep below. Is it possible that we are on the verge of discovering something that will rewrite history? Of course, the biggest question remains, if Atlantis was real, where was it? Some believe it lies beneath the Mediterranean, near Santorini, where a powerful volcanic eruption wiped out the Minoan civilization. Others point to the Caribbean, where strange underwater ruins hint at an ancient past. Some even argue that Atlantis was Antarctica before it was covered in ice, suggesting that the continent was once home to an advanced society before a sudden climate shift buried it. But here's the twist. What if Atlantis didn't disappear at all? Some theories suggest that remnants of the Atlantean people survived, scattering across the world, influencing other civilizations. The ancient Egyptians, the Mayans, the Aztecs. Could their sudden bursts of knowledge in architecture, astronomy, and engineering be the... And what if Atlantis wasn't just a place, but an idea, a symbol of something greater? A civilization so advanced, so enlightened, that it threatened the very balance of the world. What if its disappearance wasn't an accident, but something... This is where the mystery deepens, because no matter how many theories arise, no matter how much technology advances, Atlantis remains just out of reach. Always there, just beneath the surface, waiting to be discovered. What if, in the end, Atlantis was never lost at all? What if we've been looking in the wrong place, asking the wrong questions? What if the truth has been hidden in plain sight all along? Let's dive deeper into the mystery, peeling back the layers of time to uncover the possible fate of Atlantis. The last part left us questioning whether Atlantis was a real place, an advanced civilization, or just a legend. Now we venture further, into the possible locations, the evidence hidden beneath the ocean, and the shocking possibility that Atlantis was not just lost, but deliberately erased from history. The story of Atlantis does not end with its disappearance. If Atlantis was real, what truly happened on that fateful day when it was swallowed by the sea? Could an entire civilization vanish in a single night? Plato tells us that Atlantis fell due to divine punishment, a sudden, violent cataclysm that wiped it from existence. But what kind of event could cause such destruction? One of the most widely accepted theories among scholars and scientists is that Atlantis was destroyed by a massive volcanic eruption. Some believe it was located on the Mediterranean island of Santorini, home to the ancient Minoan civilization. Around 1600 BCE, one of the most powerful volcanic eruptions in history devastated the island, causing tsunamis that reached the shores of Crete and beyond. Could this have been the disaster that inspired the story of Atlantis? The eruption would have wiped out an entire civilization, leaving behind ruins that some believe match Plato's description. But there's a problem. The timeline doesn't fit. Plato said Atlantis existed 9,000 years before his time, placing it around 11600 BCE. If this was true, then the Santorini theory falls apart. Another theory suggests Atlantis was not in the Mediterranean, but somewhere in the Atlantic Ocean, as its name suggests. Some researchers point to the Azores, a group of islands off the coast of Portugal. These islands are remnants of an ancient volcanic landmass, and some believe they could be the peaks of Atlantis, the last remaining parts of a continent now submerged. The Azores lie on the mid-Atlantic ridge, a tectonic boundary where earthquakes and volcanic activity are common. Could it be that Atlantis once stood here, only to be swallowed by shifting land and rising waters? But then, there are those who argue that Atlantis was not in the Atlantic at all, that it was in fact Antarctica. This theory suggests that thousands of years ago, Antarctica was not covered in ice, but was a lush, habitable land. Some believe that a sudden shift in Earth's crust, known as crustal displacement, caused Antarctica to move to its current location, freezing everything in an instant. This would explain why some ancient maps, like the Piri-Reis map, depict Antarctica as a land free of ice. If Atlantis was located there, could its remains still be buried beneath the ice, waiting to be uncovered? And then there are the ruins beneath the ocean, structures that defy explanation. The Yanaguni Monument off the coast of Japan, a massive underwater structure with what appears to be stairs, terraces, and walls. The Bimini Road, a series of rectangular stone formations in the Bahamas that some believe is the remains of an ancient harbor or roadway. Even in the depths of the Atlantic, strange formations have been detected, hinting at the possibility that an ancient city lies hidden beneath the waves. Could these be the remnants of Atlantis? But what if Atlantis didn't just fall due to a natural disaster? What if something more sinister happened? Some researchers have speculated that Atlantis may have been destroyed deliberately. Ancient texts speak of civilizations wiped out by war, by weapons beyond our understanding. Could Atlantis have possessed knowledge so powerful, so dangerous, that it had to be erased? There are those who believe that Atlantis was home to an advanced society, one that had harnessed energy in ways we cannot yet comprehend. Some accounts, particularly those from mystics and alternative historians, speak of the Atlanteans using crystal technology, massive energy sources that could provide unlimited power. But if such technology existed, could it have been misused? Some theories suggest that an experiment went wrong, that the Atlanteans unleashed an energy so destructive that it tore their civilization apart. Others believe they were at war with another ancient power, a conflict so great that it ended in mutual destruction. One of the most intriguing claims comes from Edgar Cayce, a 20th century psychic who claimed to have visions of Atlantis. He described a civilization far beyond its time, with knowledge of flight, advanced medicine, and energy manipulation. But he also warned that the Atlanteans had misused their power, leading to their downfall. According to Cayce, remnants of their knowledge still exist, hidden in places like the Great Pyramid of Giza and secret chambers beneath the Sphinx. If this is true, could the secrets of Atlantis still be waiting to be uncovered? Even today, the search for Atlantis continues. With modern technology, we are exploring the ocean like never before, using sonar mapping and satellite imaging to scan the depths. Strange anomalies have been detected. Stronger structures on the ocean floor, areas that seem unnaturally symmetrical. Could we be on the verge of discovering something that rewrites history? And yet, Atlantis remains elusive, just out of reach. Perhaps that is why the mystery endures, because it challenges everything we think we know about our past. If Atlantis was real, It means that an advanced civilization existed long before history tells us it should have. It means that humanity's past is far older, far richer, and far more mysterious than we have ever imagined. But what if Atlantis was never lost at all? What if its knowledge, its people, its influence still exists in ways we cannot see? Some believe that the descendants of Atlantis spread across the world, seeding civilizations that would rise in its wake. The Egyptians, the Mayans, the Sumerians, cultures that seem to appear suddenly, mathematics and engineering far beyond their time. Could they have inherited this wisdom from a lost world? And what if the true secret of Atlantis is not where it was, but what it represents? Perhaps Atlantis is not just a place, but a cycle, a pattern that repeats throughout history, a civilization that rises, flourishes, reaches the peak of its power, and then is destroyed, leaving behind only traces, waiting to be rediscovered. If this is true, then the story of Atlantis is not just a legend of the past, it is a warning for the future. Because if Atlantis was real, if it was as advanced as the legends say, then the greatest mystery is not how it was lost, but whether we are doomed to follow in its footsteps.